I'm going to show you how to make breakfast sausage that's so good Jimmy Dean himself would tell you it tastes just like Jimmy Dean. My good friend Jake said it best the other day as he opined that breakfast isn't breakfast unless there's meat. Well, Jake, I couldn't agree with you more. Weekdays, well, they don't really count because I'm known to just run out of the house grabbing a piece of fruit or something. But on the days that I'm able to cook breakfast for my family, it's not breakfast unless there's meat. I will say I'm not above slicing up hot dogs and frying them up just so there's meat on the table for breakfast. It's that serious. The biggest problem with it is it gets so doggone expensive. Jimmy Dean breakfast sausage is on average about $3.65 a pound. For sausage, for crying out loud. So I'm going to show you how to make breakfast sausage for about half price. Now, half price on an item that starts out below $4, most people wouldn't bat an eye at. But I bet if I told you what gas station you could go to buy half price gas, I bet you'd be in the car already. That's because you don't buy gas 1 gallon at a time. Much like you typically don't buy sausage 1 pound at a time. Not if you're feeding a family anyhow. So, half price sausage doesn't look too bad. Take the cheapest cut of pork meat that you can find. Even the worst that you're going to find in the store is still not lips and sphincters like it very well may be in the package. Put it through the meat grinder. And if you don't have a meat grinder, a lot of stores, if you bring it to the meat counter, will just grind it up for you, no charge. If you're grinding it up yourself, I recommend using the attachment that makes the finest grind. Now that you have your meat all ground up, head for the spice cabinet and take out the following ingredients. For the original recipe sage breakfast sausage, 1 teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of dried parsley, a quarter teaspoon of rubbed sage, a quarter teaspoon of black pepper, a quarter teaspoon of thyme, a quarter teaspoon of red pepper, a quarter teaspoon of coriander. And the recipe calls for a quarter teaspoon of MSG here, so I'll act like I'm doing it, but I'm not going to use it. For the hot recipe breakfast sausage, you need 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, quarter teaspoon of rubbed sage, a quarter teaspoon of black pepper, a quarter teaspoon of red pepper flakes, a quarter teaspoon of coriander, and again a quarter teaspoon of MSG, which I'll again not be using. Now for the maple kind. This requires 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of coriander, oh yeah, and 1/2 teaspoon of MSG, which I again won't be using. Now smash it all up to blend all the spices in as best you can. It will eventually look like this. Now you will know what the next move is. That's right, make breakfast. I hope you'll use this recipe to save yourself some money. If you do, click the thumbs up, maybe subscribe if you're so inclined. And oh yeah, and stick around after my spiel here because the recipes for all 3 of these, I'm going to put them in a form so that you can pause the video and see all the ingredients all at once, because it seems like I may have gone through the list a little quick at the beginning. So thanks for your time. I appreciate you watching, and look forward to seeing you next time.